Hi everyone, it's Asia Marquet Lemon Creation here, and today I have for you a very special video. So let me gather some of the ingredients I will be using in this video, and let me tell you a little bit about these projects I'm gonna be doing, because I'm gonna be doing today 2 loose art journal pages, and I actually really enjoy the process. It's the pages are a little bit different than what I used to do. First of all, there is no negative space, but of course they are still on the grungy side. And there is gonna be a new technique I learned, and I'm gonna share it with you. Firstly, I'm gonna be using watercolor paper. It's a watercolor paper kind of on the cheap side with a lot of texture, and I'm gonna be running it through my Cuttlebug machine. So I'll make few embossing papers, and the embossing papers are gonna be something I'm gonna be using for this technique. So just stay with me, and I really hope you're gonna enjoy this video. But before I'll go ahead with my project, there is something very important I have to tell you. For those of you who watch my videos, you know how much I love experimenting or picking up new tricks and techniques. And recently I watched a wonderful online class on Craftsy, who also happens to be a sponsor of this video. And I discovered a technique I actually never ever seen or tried before. And this class I took on Craftsy is called 10 Techniques for Mixed Media Artists by Seth Apter. And honestly, I love it. You know me, I've been a fan of Seth's art for a long time. He has this grungy style, which I love so much, and he makes layered textured art. So this is super cool. The class is really great. It's packed with useful infos, is loaded with hot tips. And in this class, Seth walks you through a variety of techniques and showcases so many useful tricks also for building different types of backgrounds and projects for mixed media. So it's really a gem. And even as someone who's been crafting for quite a while, I still learn new things I can't wait to try. I discovered this class, as I mentioned earlier, on Craftsy, which, if you don't know it yet, is an amazing online resource for all things creative. And they've got classes in painting, in watercolor, journaling, baking, sewing, you name it, and it's all there. And I can't wait to try their watercolor classes, because you know how much I love watercolor. And since I'm quite new in watercoloring, I will surely learn a lot of things. Actually, one of my favorite parts is the fact that as a Craftsy member, you also get access to their live streaming tutorials, where expert instructors will share the tips in real time. They will answer your questions and engage directly with the Craftsy community. And now I do have a surprise for you guys. The first 1000 of you who click on the link below in this video description, you will get a full year of Craftsy premium membership for only $1.49, which is a really great price for a Craftsy premium membership. And once again, a huge thanks to Craftsy for sponsoring this video and making it possible to share it with you. And right now, let's go back to my project. As I mentioned earlier, I ran a few pieces of paper through my embossing machine, and I got few of the nice embossed papers. And this is my spin on things, because Seth for this technique uses actually embossed wallpaper. I didn't have any embossed wallpaper, so I decided to replace it with embossing folders and create my own kind of wallpaper thing. Of course, it doesn't have the same properties, but I wanted to try if that's gonna work. And I'm gonna be working on mixed media paper. So this is quite smooth mixed media paper, and I'm gonna divide it into 2 halves, and I'm gonna work on 2 projects. But actually at the very beginning I will be adding some paints, making some backgrounds, and I'll create a little bit more than 2 backgrounds, because I wanted to see how the backgrounds will work with this technique. As I mentioned in his video, Seth actually shows a little bit different spin on more or less the same technique at the end of his classes. So this is really cool also, and this is something I also want to try. I'm not gonna do it here because I don't want to spoil all of his classes, of course. But yes, I did the one of his techniques, but with my own spin on that, as I mentioned. And right now I'm just making backgrounds, and well, you know me, the grungy backgrounds is something I always love to have. And so I'm applying acrylic paints with a brayer, and I'm applying different colors and making, I think in total I made 3 or 4 backgrounds. And I later choose 2 of them to work with and to finish the projects, because I wanted to actually finish the whole project and make 2 art journal pages. And as you can see, I'm just adding with brayer the paints. I'm mixing them up, and I have some paint transfer from the palette also, but I don't mind, the more the merrier. So here is the page number 1, and I'm gonna come back to you after I'll finish all of my pages. I always have at hand my cheat sheet if it comes to colors and color combos. And so from this one, I'm choosing a very nice and blue Lagoon color combo from PaperArtsy. They are acrylics. And because I have some leftover paint from the first page, I decided to put it on some pre-cutted ATC cards. So like that, nothing goes to waste. And I already made a project in the meantime with those small ATC cards. And I don't have to throw the paint, and I have backgrounds ready for more creations, which I call win-win situation, and which helps me a lot with my work. So here are the 4 backgrounds I've created, and they are already dry, but acrylics dry very quickly, so there is no problem with it. And now I take one of my embossing paper or embossed paper, which I ran through my Cuttlebug earlier. All I do with this embossed paper is I cover it with a gesso. This is white gesso, it's not the heavy one, it's quite liquid. And I have to work fast because it's a gesso, so it will dry very quickly. So I need to cover it quite evenly. There cannot be places when there is too much gesso, and other when there is not enough. And you're gonna see why is that. I quickly turn my embossed paper, put it upside down on the background, and I flat it with my fingers so it actually sticks well to the background. Then I take it out, and now you can see what's happened. There is a place or 2 places on the left hand side where I put too much gesso, and it actually kind of ran. There is no problem if you like grunge, you can do that. So you can spread your gesso a little bit, and later you won't even see that. So there are ways to fix your errors, and you always try to fix your errors before you throw your project. And when you work with your errors, you're also learning new tricks, so this is really cool. And as I mentioned, you won't even see that part later at the finished page. Well, maybe you'll see a little bit, but it will give you a little more of interest. You can always fix the small errors. But what's important is actually the print I got. It's not stenciling, it's not stamping, it's actually completely different print I got on my background, and it's quite nice. And this is something I actually never ever done before, so now I'm gonna be on the lookout for wallpapers, and I'll try to work with wallpapers. And here I got a little bit wiser, I'd say. So as I mentioned, we always learn from our mistakes, or maybe just simply this embossed paper was much easier to work with. I'm not sure. Anyway, I just cover it quickly with Gesso once again. I think also you can do it with acrylic paint. If you have white acrylic paint and you don't have Gesso, you probably can do it as well. I actually didn't try, but Gesso is very similar to white acrylic paint, so I'd say you can do it. And so once again, I turn the paper, I put it flat, and I just make these kind of round movements with my hands, trying to press the paper all over the background. And look at that, guys. Amazing. And as I mentioned, it's not stamping, it's not stenciling, the texture is completely different. And now what I'm gonna be doing with this background is, of course, I'm gonna be adding a little bit more of texture. And I'm using my stencil here, and actually for the very first time I'm gonna use Distress Micro Glaze. I didn't know this product is so good, and it actually is good, but you have to be also careful when you using it. I made few small errors while using this product. I'm not sure if my kind of a brush applicator is good enough for this type of glaze, but the whole thing is that you cannot put too much on your brush, because otherwise it will stick to the surface and it will just be visible. It will give you some kind of greasy layer. This product actually reminds me a little bit Vaseline, I think. And so when you just put it through your stencil and then you add another color, what you get is this beautiful resist effect, which I absolutely love. And with this distress color combination, it just looks so beautiful. I'm gonna of course dry it all with the heat gun, and I'm gonna do similar thing with the second background. So here we go, my two backgrounds, they are completely dry right now. And look at that, the texture is so beautiful. There is so much already interest on the page. Gesso took a little bit of color of the paints I applied, but in some places it still gets or stayed white. And with the glaze I got also this beautiful effect. And this is not the end, because of course I have to add some stamping to make the backgrounds as grungy as possible. And I'm using my sets of stamps, and I'm just pressing them in a different ways. In some cases I'm pressing them quite hard to the surface, in other cases I'm just pressing them slightly to the surface, so like that I get these two different type of prints. And sometimes I use my acrylic blocks, sometimes I don't, so it really depends what you want to do. And as I mentioned, for me it's the grunge I'm looking for. So I am going and just adding the stamps as I see fit. Once again, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of music, and I'll be back after the stamping is done. If you look at those two projects, it's evident that something is missing, that they look a little bit dull almost, even despite all of these layers. So what is missing, at least to my eyes, is a little bit of contrast, and it's so nice to add black on the edges to darken the edges, and I use that with my old archival ink pad. And like that you can see they are already so changed, and I'm adding a little bit of more of the stamping to the pink page, because I think it's still not, it doesn't have enough contrast. The next step will be to add a little bit of splatter. Already the distress oxides react with water, but I have the distress oxide here on the with the pink page. But the splatter I'm doing is actually white, so of course the white will react a little bit with the oxide underneath. It will not react with acrylic, of course, because acrylic is not reacting with water. And I'll add a little bit of Snowflake acrylic also for a more like tiny splatter. And this adds another layer of interest to the project. And once again, a little bit of contrasting white, so like that, you know, there is a little bit of this these white elements, which I love so much on the page. I'm gonna run my pages through my sewing machine in two different ways. So for one, I'm gonna actually run the edges, make a kind of a frame, and of course there are loose threads hanging, because that's always something I absolutely love. And for the second one, I actually run the line through the middle. I'll be using my digital butterflies. I was thinking to go for the moths, but finally I decided to go for butterflies, and I'm gonna just glue them to the pages. Before I do that though, I'm taking the acrylic markers, and I'm darkening the edges of the fuzzy cutted butterflies, because like that you don't see later this white edge, which can be a little bit maybe, I don't know, not really that nice on the piece of paper. I prefer when the edges are actually colored. So this is why I used the black marker on the black butterfly and brown on the brown. And I have this piece of craft wire, which is very thin and easy to cut even with scissors. And I'm gonna be making antennae with it. So like my two butterflies, because it's very hard to fuzzy cut the antennae. So like that, they will have their own, they're gonna be complete. Let's leave it at that. And I glue them only in the middle, so like that the wings are still a little interactive, because you can actually move them. And here we go, 2 pages, and they are almost done. Last step for this project is adding sentiments to each card or each page. And I didn't want to add the sentiments which are printed on the pristine white paper, so that's why I kind of distressed them with the brown ink, and like that they are not gonna be taking all the attention once glued to the page. And also because I don't have too many white accents, this is best way to go, at least for me. In my eye it looks much better, and the focal points are still the butterflies, not the white paper sentiment. So guys, the projects are done. They are finished. They are, as I mentioned, a little bit different to what I usually do. There is no this white negative space, but it's still grungy and is still something I actually enjoyed very much. And I am so happy they are still techniques I can discover and I can learn, and it's such a great technique. And once again, thank you Craftsy for sponsoring this video, making it possible. As always, guys, thank you so very much for your support, for being here, for subscribing to my channel, for leaving a comment, and I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. See you soon. Bye bye.